With the rerun of Swirling Cherry Blossoms, we are introduced to 2 new ships, a new retrofit, and the return of event ships for a limited time. Hello and welcome. This is Neldrin, and today let's discuss what are the things to know in this event. But before that, I would like to thank everyone, because we reached a milestone. Thank you for your continuous support of this channel. You guys are really awesome. And for our question of the day, what are your thoughts on the upcoming PR4 ships? For me, I am excited, especially for the 2 Iron Blood ships. They are edgy, intimidating, and menacing. I'm gonna build a gear first for sure. Now onto our guide. The rerun of Swirling Cherry Blossoms will be from June 24th up to July 7th. If this is your first event, I highly suggest playing the event maps, because the humanoid enemies give more EXP points, and the event points you will earn can be used to buy good items in the event shop. Make sure to play B3 or D3 multiple times to unlock all cutscenes that can be replayed in your Memories tab. For experienced players, you already know this, but just in case, you can skip A and B maps, and rush completing C and D maps, for you to unlock the SP map immediately, which will give you 800 event points once per day. If you already participated on the first run, this might be a break from you in the game. Or probably you'll just need to collect what you missed from the original run. Except for the customary humanoid enemies and tile movement restrictions, nothing else is included in any of the event stages. Even though there is a huge Sakura circle during the battle, which I'm not sure what it does, it is not game breaking or something you should worry about. First is the greatest loot for this event, which is Noshiro. I really like her visual design, especially with the meticulous detail in her Odachi scabbard. She is the strongest ship to obtain here, so make sure that you will get her. I know some of you, especially the newcomers, are curious why you always see her in PvP. She got a huge evasion buff to herself, plus she also buffed the crit rate of your vanguard by 12%. The increased damage to carriers is just a bonus. Although she is being countered by the Italian ship nowadays, I don't really see much of them as defending fleet in PvP, so she is still strong there. Because of her absurd evasion, if you give her a washing machine in Beaver Squadron Squad, she can fill the role of tank. Next is Suruga. Nothing much to say on her design except on the cool details in her coat. She got a good barrage. However, it will require to put her in the flagship or middle position to fully utilize it. Given that there are already numerous flagship BB that are better than her, she's only good if you are just starting up. The bonus pedals on her barrage in PvP is not that great too, except on aesthetics. Damage-wise, it is not a huge upgrade, so better stick with the better options. Her blue skill makes her a good ship in mob fleet because of the self-heal and defensive buffs to your backline. Next, we have another great character design. I'm actually amazed at how huge the effort in giving details to these ships. Because recently, it feels like everything is just a copy of popular characters from different titles. Anyway, Ryuho is a light carrier healer. Her healing is somehow similar to Aquila without the additional shield, and is limited to 3 airstrikes only per battle. Although with these limitations, it is not really a big deal, because it is rare to have a prolonged battle, unless you are sending a weak fleet to a higher level map. Also, her healing is based on her own HP, meaning that most light cruisers and destroyers will get more healing compared to Aquila. Her blue skill is just a bonus because the game doesn't have strong submarine maps. Next is Kasumi. She is a collectible ship for me because her stats and skills are not great. With her retrofit, she will gain additional stats, and she will turn into a usable ship, meaning that she is good, but still, there are more better ships than her. She can also be a good torpedo stat filler on hard mode stages due to her high torpedo stat. Sharing the same fate, Kinnu, even with the retrofit, is just a usable ship. She's a torpedo cruiser similar to Noshiro and Jinsu. But the two mentioned are way better than Kinnu. You're probably thinking if it is a good idea to do a triple torpedo cruiser. Will it be good? Probably. But for me, I have a bias towards a certain raccoon destroyer. A skunk. Anyway, if you got Duca degli Abruzzi from the previous Italian event, she is also a better choice than Kinnu if you really want to push a torpedo cruiser fleet. Lastly, from the returning ships, Hibiki is another collection tier ship. Stats and skills are also not good. I guess she is not. Well, you can use her as part of the zombie fleet, but why use her if there are more oil-efficient options than her? Now for the new ships. Kazugumo, or probably the IJN version of Z-28, have a great skill where it will reduce the loading time of her torpedoes. Definitely use the single 76mm to abuse her torpedoes. However, she is leaning towards manual play if you want to maximize her potential. And lastly, we have Shirayuki. Not much to talk about her except for the decent stats she has. Good firepower buff to Vanguard plus self-torpedo buffs. The additional damage to the enemy destroyer is negligible, but the chance to launch a second wave of torpedo is nice. So all in all, most of the Vanguard ships in this event are torpedo-based, which will maximize their potential when played on manual mode. For the event shop, make sure to buy Kinnu here, because this is the only way to obtain her. Buy the coins and oils whenever needed. And prioritize buying the PR blueprints. If you are a beginner, buying the gold gearbox here is also a good deal, so that you can have better gears early on. Either you are a beginner or experienced player, make sure that you have enough points to buy Noshiro just in case you will not get her from build or B3. No need to rush spending your event points, because the event shop will stay 1 week longer than the event. For farming, the A and B maps have 3 times multiplier event points on the first clear each day. For C and D maps it will be ×2. The A maps have good ships for establishing beginner fleets. We have healers, namely Unicorn and Arizona. Queen Elizabeth for the early game British fleet. Of course, Helena is also here, which is one of the best support. If you are farming the A maps, I am assuming you are just starting out. I highly suggest prioritizing getting Unicorn and Helena here, because they are good even at later stages, unlike the others, who will be weaker as you progress the main story. For B maps, although we are getting good supporting ships here, I highly suggest farming B3 for a chance to get Noshiro. Cleveland is obtainable in the guild shop, and the repair toolkit can be easily farmed in the main stages anyway. Because of the boss only, with a low drop rate for Noshiro, you might not have enough time and oil to farm for her, if you will be farming on the other items. Remember that B maps have low event points, so farming for points here to buy Noshiro in the shop will be very tedious. Pushing your luck on B3, plus it is the highest event point drop in B map, is the best way to secure getting Noshiro. For C maps, by this time you probably own the good ships here, and equipment drops are not too great. C2 will be the best map for farming here in my opinion, because it will only require 4 battles for the boss to appear, which will make it oil efficient. The twin 410mm BB gun drop is a bonus here. C3 offers 10 more event points, but considering 1 additional battle before the boss fight without better drops than C2, then farming here might not be worth it. Only farm C2 if you have difficulty completing D maps. For D maps, same explanation on B maps. Not much good drops on the other two, so might as well play D3 to secure getting Noshiro. To summarize, Swirling Cherry Blossoms Rerun offers 3 strong ships. And mostly torpedo-focused ships that are great when played manually. This is probably a break time to some players, but make sure to grab important loots in the event shop. And Noshiro is the only good farm here, other than the event points. I hope that this guide gave you some insights for this event. If I missed something or you have a different take on my opinions, feel free to comment it down below. And don't forget to subscribe to support my channel. You guys are awesome, and see you next time.